Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Chloe Curiosity.
And welcome to another Mangled morning.
Woo!
Chloe Curiosity, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
You look like you got some watermelon stuffed under there.
Girl, I'm serving the best of both tits.
Miley was a theme on All Stars.
Yes.
I already know who the Heated Angel of the Week is. Denali won, but also the fandom in general.
Yes.
I think this is the most...
I have to agree.
intense I've seen it online.
Yeah, but, I mean...
This year.
It just feels very rigged in this bracket.
I mean, this meme sums up where we're at. We had a lovely bracket 1, an amazing bracket 2, and then I mean, it's been turd city.
No, that's actually so true, though. It's hard, though, because I like a lot of the queens from this bracket. It just doesn't... Something about it. Just the judging and everything, it's not...
Multiple elements.
Yeah.
We're going to get into all that. We're going to break down that lip sync, which is definitely the most infamous part. But also, I think even the top 2 were controversial. Allegedly, Denali, walked off stage.
Oh, yeah, I saw that clip.
And did not... There's a clip of it?
Well, someone I saw on TikTok, they, played back... If you, watch it really
She's
closely,
not there. Yeah.
It kind of shows in one of the clips, too, of her, in the background walking away.
Some of the Ru girls, of course, have jumped in, and we've got some tweets that we're going to look at from them and see their opinions. There's lots of opinions to go over today.
Yeah.
But before we get started with all that, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube, plus you're helping support the channel. Now, you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App like Trey J. Trey J. Long-time watcher, first-time tipper. Love your content, and so glad you're back. I'm glad I'm back, too. I'm glad you get to see me again. You can also tip on the YouTube thanks, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. I'm glad to see you again. It hasn't been that long. How you been, y'all?
Yes, I'm glad to be back. I'm just doing lots and lots of drag. It's Pride Month, so I have been, so busy.
Time of the year for
I'm,
drag queens.
A little bit... But I'm excited to, be doing something where I'm not outside.
Not outside, not moving around, yeah.
Yeah.
But you will get heated from the discussion today.
No, I am very heated already, just from watching the episode.
Before we get into some of the All-Star stuff, let's start off with some positivity.
Yeah.
Jinx Monsoon was on the Today Show a couple days ago to announce that that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We had just talked about last week, Bob, the drag queen, being on The View, but not only being a guest on The View, but also being able to do it out of drag, which is something that typically in the past has been reserved for somebody at RuPaul's caliber.
Yeah, that's true.
And so to see that barrier be broken. Oh, my whole skirt was up. See someone do that.
Right, she's a big enough name.
Barrier.
They weren't oh, we need you to come as your drag persona.
Right, typically you have to.
Yeah.
But the fact that now Jinx here just a week later also got to do this on the Today Show out of drag as well.
Iconic.
She's going to be taking over the show, Oh, Mary.
Yes.
Have you seen this or heard about it?
Well, I've been seeing the clips online of the person that's playing it now.
Of Cole, yeah.
Of Cole playing
and
now.
he's really funny, but it's a specific type of thing, right? Jinx has all of it, an endless bag of tricks that you can add to this. It's playing Mary Todd Lincoln.
And it's just very exciting for her to be, in another Broadway role. And
this is her 4th one.
And it's, this is a pretty big one, I feel, and, it's the main...
This is huge. It's a one-woman show.
Yeah.
When she was on the Today Show, they did this montage of her career, but it's just mainly her career on Broadway. They talked about breaking the records for Chicago.
Oh.
Then she did Little Shop of Horrors. Then, right now, she's in one called Pirates. She's the lead in that.
That's kind of cool, and, they don't even talk about, her Drag Race... past.
They mentioned 2-time winner, but that, mention it in passing.
Yeah.
It was
that's just awesome. I'm so happy for her.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And just so, surreal to see.
Right? She's breaking barriers. I feel like this is going to lead to a lot more, too.
And it was great because she talked a lot about being trans and spoke up about that, which is not something, not a discussion gets brought up on a show like the Today Show a lot,
right.
My eyes started watering. Made me start to stutter. Have you been seeing the announcements for guest judges for Slajon Royale?
Oh, no, I haven't seen.
Precious Paula Nicole, Season 1 winner. Marina Summers, her runner-up in the New UK vs. the World. Pangina's back as guest judge. Jimbo, Season 2 winner Kat Kat. Alyssa Edwards. And then last minute I had added Sasha Colby as well.
Oh my god.
So it looks like there's going to be at least one
That's
iconic.
On
the panel every week.
I love when, drag competition shows have, drag queens on the panel as the judge too. So I love that they're including like just so many big names.
This is now Sasha's... Actually, for Sasha, Jimbo, and Alyssa, this is all technically their second time guest judging. Because Alyssa did judge the finale of España.
Are the photos of them like on the show?
On the panel, yeah. These are like... Some of them are... They're supposed to all be like selfies.
I was gonna say some of them look like selfies, but some look like they were just there on the panel.
Right. Marina is just unreal.
Yeah,
actually,
like,
Marina and Precious Paula are like just incredible.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Then it looks like they switched to a little bit of a selfie mode.
Yeah. Alyssa's is just so funny to me.
She's that wig.
The wig is like
Sasha looks like she took hers with a fisheye.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah.
What kind of camera did they give her? Like, is she in a photo booth?
She said, "Give me the Snapchat filter."
But she looks. Her mouth is coming at us. Crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, and she'll be amazing. But I imagine
that's so fun. Yeah.
These are coming out like a couple a week, so I imagine we'll probably get more.
Oh, some more. Okay.
Because I think there's going to be like 10
Do you know
episodes.
how... Okay, it'll be 10.
When they release these, the comments on them are not what you would think. People don't like a long build-up to a season. A ton of teases. So a lot of the comments are like, just give us the cast. You know?
Okay.
When they are talking about when the season's starting, it just says... How random.
That is so weird. Why did it just start shaking?
The fan wanted to make a speech.
Right?
The tease for it is just saying, like, whenever they talk about when the new season starts, it's not like coming soon, it's later this year.
Okay.
You
So
know?
we don't even know a date yet.
I think it'll probably be like late summer, but you know, that's still I think it's still a couple months away.
Build up the hype to make sure people like know it's coming.
And I'd rather them do this than shots of people's shoulders or knees for a month from their promos. You know, how they do stuff like
sometimes they do,
sometimes they'll do that forever.
And it's like we don't even know what's going on.
Like just
at
give
all.
it I don't get and sometimes like by the time the season gets here, because they've been talking about it for a year, it could feel old.
Right.
Like, oh, that didn't happen yet? I thought I already watched that.
Right.
You ready to get into All Stars?
I'm ready.
How have you been enjoying it in general?
I've been loving pretty much all of it up until this group hasn't been as like exciting, I would say, as like the rest. But I love a lot of the people in the group.
Yeah, I like them.
See it go.
But as a cast, they're not.
Yeah.
It's not doing it for me.
Some of the chemistry is like a little weird, but some of the relationships are fun. Like I think it's really fun to see like Daya Betty and Acid Betty together, and like that kind of thing.
Although I wish we would get more.
I know, it seems like they actually have gotten closer maybe like after the show.
Right, because there's only one episode left, and
because we haven't seen too much of
we saw one moment in this episode actually, like where Daya comes up behind her and it was cute, but and then
in this
funny
one too, Acid actually kind of like snapped at her.
She shut her down.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, you're not getting any."
How you guys voting? That's between me and my team. She would not let her talk to the team.
So I was like, okay, well maybe they're gonna have a little.
Actually, I would say that my favorite person this whole episode was Acid Betty. I don't like a lot of the confessionals from this group. They feel like filler or forced.
Yeah.
And she's like very natural.
I do think Acid has been very funny and real, like in her confessionals. Mm-hmm. And it's just been fun seeing her back after all this time.
I wish she was being recognized more.
I know, that's what sucks, is like some of the people aren't. But yeah, I loved Bracket 1. I agreed with the 3 that went on. Mm-hmm. I loved Bracket 2. A lot of drama. I agreed with the 3 that went on, I think.
Yeah, I think that even though Bracket 2 was full of drama, in the end, I think it was the correct
person.
I
think that was who I would want to see go forward.
I think they did the best overall in the bracket anyway.
This one, like, I really don't even know at this point.
Well, we know Ginger's going through.
Like, I feel like definitely Ginger, maybe Daya, I'm thinking, and then maybe Denali if they don't, like, play in her face. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then, you know, that whole little moment between Acid and Daya in regards to how are you going to divvy up points, because Acid was planning with her team a strategy going forward for what they're going to do, because you know, she's realizing like, hey, if we all just give each other 1 point each, like it's not going to do anything.
Yeah,
we're not doing anything. Like let's figure out a plan.
So I am interested to see how that will go too.
I'm glad that someone's doing something.
Yeah, because if they do pick one person and give them all their points,
but the problem is I feel like it should be her.
Right.
They should be giving them to her.
To Acid, yeah.
I don't know if that'll happen.
But I don't know if she's the one recommending it, I don't think she would be like, okay, so let's do me.
I can't see her see her doing that. I can't.
To me, it felt more congenial.
It felt like she was really wanting to be intentional, with like, let's make some choices here.
Yeah.
This episode starts off with Ginger. You know, the little floor moment. We got her on the floor, Denali on the floor in the mini challenge. More of Denali's ass made a couple more appearances. Just very, very prevalent. They're joking around with Ginger as the star on the floor, and then we cut to her confessional talking about strategy, and I have a target on my back, and they're all out to get me. She's been saying that since the moment she walked in.
I know.
No one is out. No one can get you.
Right.
What are you talking about? She's acting like they can send her home.
Yeah, I don't really get pretty much everything that's happening with Ginger this season.
I just find her confessionals, they just don't feel authentic or something. Like,
well, yes.
I don't like it's, and
That's
there's
what's-
so much of them.
I feel like that's what's hard too, is because I always have like loved Ginger, but I think this season we're not even seeing like what we loved about her. We're not seeing like the campy fun side, and I think she even like said this episode how she was like trying to be more fashion on the runway and like less. You know what I mean? Like
I'm glad that Daya read her.
I was like,
entrance
what?
look, her
But-
all-star entrance look.
Yeah, that one.
Like,
I mean,
girl.
yeah, she never had like good fashion, but I don't know.
Well,
I liked a little more of the campiness.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, we're going to talk about the runways, but she wore almost something identical to what she wore on her.
I was
season.
going to say that.
No.
And it
there's
was
no
not
evolution.
Miley at all.
No, it was Elvis.
I mean, it was, but it's not.
It
like,
was Elvis.
Yeah.
There's one thing of like what Acid did where like you take the character and you combine them. You could see that clearly.
Right.
She didn't do that.
No.
She made it. Yeah.
She saw, Miley did like an Elvis type look, so I'm going to do that. And she
That
like
would- yeah.
redid her Elvis look.
That
like,
would be like if I got the Miley runway and I changed it into a Janet Jackson look.
Yeah.
You know who would do that? Fabrielle would change hers into an Ariana Grande look.
But even Fab would do it better.
I actually thought Orville Peck did a great job helping them.
He was really good, yeah.
Like the advice he gave, and he's just cute and
Yeah.
great smile.
And it was fun seeing just his like banter with them.
For me personally, I enjoyed this episode more than their first one.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was
I agree.
more pleasant
Yeah.
to watch because I didn't care for much of the first. You know, like the first one just felt like, ugh, what is this?
Yeah.
This is not right.
Right.
This one, at least we had a mini challenge. We had Orville Peck. We had things happening.
Yeah.
And his advice that he gave Cynthia was great, where she was like adding a bunch of extra words, and he was like, just say, ride my cuckoo.
Right, and it
know?
sounded so much better,
So
too.
much better.
And he is just hot, so it was fun to
Right.
look
that
at.
part too. Well, Alyssa tried to sleep with him.
I couldn't believe that when she was, like, serious, too.
She comes alive when, you know, even in her verse, towards the end, when she really starts talking about sucking dick.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it gets good all of a sudden. Now you can rhyme? Let's talk about that girl group. Or the girl groups.
Yes.
What'd you think about this Stagecooch country moment?
It was interesting that it was, like, country for this group.
The heavy metal group. I guess that one is actually comparable to this one.
Yeah.
Because the middle group was the rap and roast. And rapping is something that you're almost expected to do no matter what.
Yeah.
And it was less character based.
Yeah.
You know, it was more about.
That one, I think, is my favorite
That was
so
by
far
far the best.
out of all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because the other two are more standard girl groups.
yeah.
But with a character theme.
The songs were, like, cute, I guess.
The one that was Ginger's group, that song was way better.
Yeah.
Was it Key or
Key or Car. Because it kind of gave, like, a little, like...
It was like a Carrie Underwood knockoff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like that song. I'm gonna drown my
But it was cute. I liked their choreo. I
Yeah.
thought it was simple, cute, and then they like ended like this each time, and I thought that was
Yeah.
really smart. The other group had good choreo too, but sometimes it was a little bit much.
Yeah.
And also, I hated that song.
Yeah.
Suck off the chrome.
Yeah, it was like a little... Their song was just like way more sexual, too. I mean...
Yeah, well, and also, why were they flipping us off at the end of each chorus?
Yeah, I felt like that was like better for the other group because they were like the bad girls or whatever.
Yeah,
like...
I feel like it didn't quite make sense if you're saying you want to be sexual with me. Why are you flipping me off?
And not to be the one, but like... I felt like Ginger's look didn't match the rest of the group, her group.
Everyone had a hat but her.
Yeah, I felt like hers...
I almost felt like because Daya and Cynthia's hats, it looked like the same hat, but like they styled it themselves. Because they even had the same star on the front of them.
Yeah,
I feel like there was a part of this challenge they cut, which was design a hat.
Do you think? Oh my gosh. Because the other team
And
all
they-
did have a hat.
Uh-huh. And they cut it because
Ginger's the only one that doesn't have a hat.
They cut it because they had to have Ginger win. And if they put that as part of the challenge, that's why she... Because I was... Like, week one, she was not shocked at all that she won, which she should have been.
Yeah.
Like, her face was like...
Right.
Daya was shocked.
Yeah.
This week, she was gagged.
She
that
was
won.
shocked,
And,
yeah.
like, this week was more reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like hardly any of the hats besides Denali's.
Well, and I also thought when
They were hindrance.
yeah, like with acids, like I felt like she kind of had to keep messing with it.
Acid and Alyssa, unfortunately, I couldn't hear how good or pay attention to how good Acid was doing
Because the hat was
because you're on edge.
Yeah.
At least as a performer, I feel like we're like
No, I totally get that because I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't fall off. Like,
because you're just watching her grab it and it slide around.
yeah, I guess she wanted to have like be able to take it off because she was doing like some of this, which I do think is cute. But if it's like not staying on good, like it was scaring me because there were moments where it was like, ah.
I do feel like our hats either staying on, we're pinning it down, or
Yeah.
you know.
Usually, if I'm gonna wear a cowgirl hat, I just pin it on because like it's usually not worth it to be able to take it off because then it just falls off.
And I can't remember what their group names were. But
The Mud Flaps.
The Mud Flaps. Mud Flaps
And-
with Cynthia, Daya, and Ginger.
Yes. And then something.
The fact that the two girls, too, also had matching black hats, and that it was covering, especially Cynthia's, was covering a lot of her face.
Yeah.
You know, like, we can't even see her eyes a lot.
Yeah.
Because I actually think Cynthia's verse, if she had
I liked
performed
her
it-
verse.
if she performed it better and not look crazy, she's the worst with styling.
Yeah.
That purple tight and the...
Yeah, the outfit
just-
was a little.
Nothing went together.
I mean, it was country, I guess, but it was also just like
Sure.
Gaga drag outfit.
It was a standard bodysuit with a purple tight that went
Yeah.
with nothing, except for Ginger's look. Like, that's the only reason she wore it.
I don't know. Ginger's look didn't match theirs to me. I wish she would have put maybe a little more black on with it. Like if she would have, maybe if she had the black hat and then like the belts or whatever.
The second group, though, they
their
didn't
looks
really match.
were not matching either.
I would
but
say
I
that-
liked that they were all like chrome-ish.
And they were
like-
giving me, like, more realistic for a festival wear. What were your favorite verses? Or who were your standouts?
Daya did good.
See, I thought Daya was the weakest. Oh, Daya
You didn't like it?
I thought that it was just it was so generic. And she was so controlled in her movements.
I did think like
She moves well. but
Yeah.
There's no personality, no energy there. Like, it's just too rehearsed,
yeah.
you know?
I enjoyed hers, and I thought, I mean, Ginger's was funny, even though I don't love Ginger, but actually, I shouldn't say that. I like her, but I just think that they're
Not
pushing,
enjoying what's happening.
They're pushing her
Yeah.
really hard this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Denali's was really good too. I loved all her movement that she did too with it.
Yeah.
And I also I thought Cynthia's was really good. Just like the actual track part was really good.
I feel like Cynthia, I think the best verses were Cynthia, Acid, Ginger, and Denali.
Yeah,
But I don't think that Acid and Cynthia necessarily gave
like sold
as
it.
good of a performance.
Yeah.
Although Acid did make great faces.
That's true. Acid
You know,
was
like,
cute too.
Besides,
it was like
it's just holding the hat was the distraction for me.
yeah, I was worried about the hat, and I actually kind of didn't like the hat and the hair with the outfit.
It was a
like it
lot.
was just a little.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was like just, you know, and her outfit's like insane and lights
Yeah,
up.
the outfit was crazy, and then there was like this simple hat,
very
with
max,
this
right,
flat
right.
hair. Like I don't know.
You could, yeah, you know that the person who's wearing that is not doing all
right.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked at all that Denali especially was in the top. The other spot, which I feel like a lot of people online feel like that could have gone to Acid.
Yeah, I could see Acid. I actually thought, and maybe I'm delusional, but I thought it was going to be Daya and Denali. But I think that obviously they went Ginger too.
This lip sync has lit up the internet. On my first watch, I didn't really think about how some of the nuances that I've heard about since then, like saying that they've taken little moments of the song out, but still show Denali, like little beats.
So it like makes it look like she's doing so much. Because
Right.
I did feel like
Because
she was doing a lot.
She was doing a lot. Well, and also to me, the first thing I thought was she just got new nails and she wanted to show them off because she was doing a lot of like.
But I do think like that's kind of how she dances. Like she like vogues and does a lot of that. Like
Well, and I think that's why they showed clips of her lip sync right before that.
yeah.
For me, what was missing was any soul or connection to the song. The song's so sexy, and it's like talking about lusting
Yeah.
after someone. That's my favorite Miley
Yeah.
song, by the way.
Same. That one is an iconic song. I loved that they did that. The fact that RuPaul knows that song, I was like, yes, Ru, okay.
Like, this is such a sexy song. And Denali,
it's like,
and Denali looks sexy.
And it's like so
but-
early in Miley's career too, so it's kind of funny.
Right, I know. This is the first time I was, I didn't care about, I was too old. I had a mortgage or at least some rent at the time. I didn't feel a connection to the song.
Yeah.
But also, if there's beats missing, I don't know what the edit would be like if we heard it with everything included. People pointed out a lot of specifics with it. Every line of the song, it always ends with Ginger. Every ending line, they cut to Ginger. And so it makes it feel like she's completing the moment. Like, it's just, it's little things like that.
Yeah.
But cutting parts of the song, like cutting beats and still showing the queen perform it.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, a different
rigmarole.
level. We don't see a lot.
Yeah, like I felt like, at least with the way they edited it, it felt to me like Ginger wasn't doing enough for me to the song. And Denali was like doing a little bit too much. Like, she wasn't like serving like face or like enough or like giving I think she could have added even maybe like a little camp to it or something. Like I did think Ginger, like, she sold it on the camp aspect, but she just kind of like stood there and didn't like.
Ginger gave face.
Yeah.
That's all she gave.
Yeah.
And also, I hate when they're like focused on the other girl, and Ginger was focused on Denali a lot. So it's weird that she, typically if a girl's looking at the other girl a lot, they don't win.
They think that they're not going to win.
Right. Yeah. She was even more shocked that she won the lip sync than she won the challenge.
And she knows it's rigged.
Even she's like, are we sure?
But yeah, I just like wanted to see like the connection, like you said. Like
also,
a little
she
bit
started
more.
off too hot. Like, the song, it starts off slow, like...
Yeah, build up to it a little more,
Like, some of the stuff she started to do...
Yeah, it starts off that song builds up throughout the song.
Like,
so.
I want you to, like, be crawling on the floor. And,
yes.
Like, slow and sensual.
Okay, yes. I like that they did the song.
Right. But also, at the end of the day, neither one of them, for me, gave me what I wanted.
Yeah, same.
I didn't see the fantasy. I'm sure that there, potentially could be another edit out... Or, you know what... We could eventually see the unedited version or a full version. Or
I would love
who
to,
knows,
yeah.
Or maybe I could enjoy Denali's performance more. Some of that stuff, once they point it out, you see it. And there is some specific things that are very geared towards Ginger.
You know what Drag Race should do? They should put on WoW Presents Plus, like, all the cuts where it shows both queens, like, at the same time, and you can, like, really watch, like, all the lip syncs. But they probably wouldn't, because that would show maybe if sometimes they pick someone for certain reasons.
And even when you think about camera work, like, Ginger, pretty much all close-ups the whole lip sync.
Yeah.
Because that makes the performance feel like it's more impactful.
Well, and because she wasn't, like, moving around, compared to Denali.
Even stuff like that is just very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
You can never tell with Ru if they're going to like ass or not. Because typically I feel like Ru does enjoy a little body, a little ass moment. Did not enjoy Denali bending over. This is
her face in that clip.
When Ru made that face, it's like, well, she ain't winning.
Right.
Like, that's the kiss of death.
Which is so weird, though, because, like, normally she does love that. But maybe she's, like, not to a Miley Cyrus song. I don't know. Even though Miley is, like, Miley would do that, like...
Right. They cut the Ginger, and she just barely makes a face. And the way they put in laughter of the judges, just laughing hysterically.
There was one part where, like...
Nothing happened.
She literally did nothing, and then they laughed, and I was like...
They just showed
wait,
her.
what? I was, like, actually confused. I can't remember what it was, but there was one part, and I was like, wait, what?
She just
what happened? Like...
She didn't do nothing. I feel like last week's winners were more outrageous than this week's. I think that last week Denali and Acid should have won, and it was insane. I thought the weakest team was Daya and Ginger.
I actually do agree.
It was mind-blowing that they won.
Which is sad, because I really like Daya.
Yeah.
But... I agree, because I didn't think their looks were too similar. Like, it didn't have the good and bad feel of the witch. No. Yeah.
They did a sister thing.
I felt like even...
They were like the two ugly stepsisters.
Yeah, exactly. Very that. I felt like even
color.
Cynthia and Ariana were both kind of, like, not agreeing. They were like, what's happening?
No, they very clearly wanted Denali and Acid.
Yeah. Just neither of them weren't giving it for me.
What if
I would be like, okay, can you guys
like,
actually just
I
do
will
that
not
one
be
again?
awarded an extra point.
That's what I would have done. Yeah. But honestly, I think I would have... I don't know, because Denali did do a lot. I just wish she would have, like, done a little more with her face with it. But maybe they cut out the parts when she, like, sold face. Like, I don't know. And
it apparently was too much for Denali not to win.
Yeah, because she was mad.
After Ru says everybody say love, now let the music play. They don't do any wide shots, they, like, cut to, like, a few of the girls dancing solo. Then they cut to them walking out, but you can clearly see only 5 queens. And they, like, do a shot, 2 quick shots showing basically both sides of the stage, like kind of showing like, yep, this is everyone, but they're doing it so fast that I think it's supposed to disguise that Denali's not there.
Someone did, I think they put, like they found somehow in that clip, there's like, if you look really closely, you can kind of see Denali like behind one of them, like she's walking off stage. So I'm interested to see. I don't know if they'll cut that completely out.
Clearly, there's gonna be some sort of discussion about it at the start of next week's episode. They shouldn't have cut it because man, that would have really had this episode end with a bang.
Well, because the clip I saw, it showed Ross kind of made like a face too, but of course they just edit that. It could have been him not making a face at that. It could have been just a face he made.
But it looked like Alyssa's like comforting Ginger, like Ginger got upset about it or something, or like something.
Maybe like she was upset because if like, Denali ran out.
That would be Ginger Minj to win two challenges, 2 lip syncs, and then have to be consoled by the losers.
It is like hard because it's like it's not necessarily like her fault that she's being pushed by the judges.
Exactly. Like it's never the queen's fault that they're winning the challenges.
Yeah.
They have no decision in it, but unfortunately they're the ones that typically get the majority of the backlash.
It's like send that to the judges, I guess, if you're upset.
Right.
Like she's doing her thing that she's always done.
I've never heard Michelle give a critique where she literally just says, your belt buckle says Minj, the back says this.
No, literally.
We've been saying all season that Michelle has been giving critiques that are just wild, all over the place. She's just been off all season. And this one, and it feels like she's being like steered to be producers like pet to like say exactly what they want. So I felt like that was Michelle's nicest thing she could say about the outfit.
Okay, yes.
You know what I mean? Like Michelle, instead of, because they were like, you can't, she's gonna be in the top this week. So
and like and it's like, why would she even say that though? Like it was like so simple.
It was so funny.
And that makes no sense because the outfit that she's wearing, like Mileys literally does say "younger now" on the back of the jacket. Like, yeah, she's giving the reference. Like, what? Like, yeah.
You have words there. And
the other people are also wearing Miley things. Like, I don't know. It was just weird.
She didn't say she liked it. She just pointed them out as facts. They were factual. But it's funny because, thinking about critiques throughout the season, I mean, there's numerous ones where you could compare that to. The critique that Mistress got episode 1 about her silhouette. Oh, you always wear that.
Yeah.
She just got here, and that's her signature. And it's stunning, and she made it today.
Right. It's like episode 1.
Yeah, she showed up in something she wore 15 years ago. And we don't say we love it, but we acknowledge it.
No, literally.
So bizarre.
That's actually so valid, because, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like, oh, I love it. It's just, you made it into Elvis. I've never been attracted to Alyssa up until she made this face. Why am I like, oh, now I think she's hot.
I do think she's hot, but I thought that was, like, weird with the trade thing.
Apparently I like her confused or upset.
The face is hot.
Daya was having an argument with her here, but it would be weird if she's already, like, doing all this, and Alyssa clearly is not remotely getting ready
Right,
yet.
she's like...
Daya could be yelling at someone else.
Yeah.
Like, she's...
That's true. It also kind of looks like not that, like, angry of a yell. So, like, it could just be,
it's hard
like...
to tell, because sometimes that's just how we talk. It's drag race.
Yeah, true.
Just screaming across the room. A few of the girls from Drag Race immediately shared their opinions. Candy Muse said, call me when the Bracket 3's over. When the merger happens. She's done. She's over it. She's not doing any more with Bracket 3. But Alyssa Hunter left a comment that I actually think it could be interpreted multiple different ways on Candy's post. Where she said, girl... watch it in person, now on screen, still giving the same energy. I would assume she's talking about the lip sync, right?
Like, is this after the first episode or this recent episode?
It's after this one.
Okay.
These are all from this episode.
So I wonder, is that what she's talking about? Like, she just is saying, like, the lip sync wasn't giving.
I would guess that, yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess
that makes sense.
Yeah. But, or it could
watch
be...
it in person.
Or it could be some... I don't know. It could be in terms of, like, just favoritism or
like, watching Ginger get the favoritism.
There's no... I mean, Candy says nothing's... There's nothing that Candy implies it could be. She just says she don't like Group 3.
In the merge.
And then she says this comment that doesn't really apply. Eureka speaks up, and she's one of the queens that can get the backlash, no matter what. So she very sarcastically said, "Congratulations on winning All Stars 10. You deserve it, Ginger Minj." But then a couple of Ru girls chimed in. The Macarena from España said, "Aren't you always the first one ranting about toxic fandom? Hypocrite, go shower." Clearly, the Macarena's not looking to be congenial or nice.
That is crazy.
But she's willing to call out Eureka about it. And then
screaming.
Amethyst, girl save it.
Girl save it. Is that to Eureka? Or
Yeah,
they all
those are
saying
both
that to
comments on Eureka's post. It's just funny because everyone else was making the posts and they're okay. Like, they're not getting that type of response.
It is kind of funny how
Eureka.
with Eureka, like, I feel like literally this, like, everyone could be doing something and then Eureka does it and people are like, girl, what the fuck?
And it's also a history of...
I mean,
behavior.
She's had a lot of, yeah.
And also, a lot of girls, it can be like working with her in person, can have them just be like, no, you're an asshole, so...
I mean, I can't say much, but I will say I did meet her one time in St. Louis when she came to Attitudes. She wasn't in drag and she was kind of rude, but...
at my first drag con ever, she was by far the worst experience.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And the only ones that I have like that. Now, with the points racked up, Ginger is way ahead with 6 points, 2 wins.
Crazy.
And already has the most money of the season, $20K. Because she's the only queen to win 2 lip syncs. Technically, Georges won 2, but she had to split hers with Mistress once.
And they split the... Okay,
So Georges is right behind her with 15K.
That's crazy.
The 3 that already have wins are the 3 that had wins on their initial seasons.
Yeah.
The other 3 girls never got any wins. So I'm waiting for this group to come and go and, like, no one get a redemption. Next week, I'm so excited for this challenge. I'm not going to quit Bracket 3 because I've been asking for a sequel to The Bachelor forever.
Yes.
It's always been one of my all-time favorite improv challenges. And every time we do a list of bring back a challenge or redo a challenge, I always bring up The Bachelor.
But isn't it like dogs?
It's called The Golden Bachelor. And I got what I wanted, but they're going to now also be dating but be dogs.
Because I saw that, I was like, oh, I like that they're bringing that back, but why is
wildly
it dogs?
unnecessary. I will say, it could still be good.
It could be, they'll make it funny.
Think about Manila being a dog in that courtroom thing. She was great.
Yeah.
But that was just one person. Also, this guy who they're going to be dating, I don't know who he is, but he is hot as hell.
Okay, who is that?
I'm sure he's an actor.
He's hot.
I love that Alyssa Betty was giving, like, a dominatrix, and she
she looks good.
Right.
I didn't even realize that was her.
She said, sit, and made him sit. Like, Acid's going to slay
her
again.
nose looks kind of real, too, like, the makeup that she did, like, the prosthetic.
Yeah, she did a good job. Denali's...
they all did, like, a prosthetic type nose?
They all are dogs, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
They all have them.
That's crazy!
Actually, Ginger doesn't. She just painted her nose, but everyone else does.
Of course.
We can't see Alyssa, but that is hilarious that out of the 5 we do see, everyone has full prosthetics, full makeup on, and Ginger does not. Ginger looks like she's in Cats.
I know, she kind of is giving, like, a lion more so. Like, the cowardly lion. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited because The Bachelor's back, but I'm confused as to why they're dogs. But I'm still optimistic that it could be good.
Yeah. I mean, they always are throwing, like, a random wrench into it.
Thinking about everyone who's made it through and the potential people to make it through here, is there anyone that you're seeing as, like, your winner so far? Or, like, your front runner? For me, I still feel like it's, like, Bosco.
I really think Bosco...
Because I think Bosco also could have won all 3 of those.
Bosco and Irene both were slaying it to me. Like, amazing.
Irene is not giving me the winner energy.
I don't know that she's, like, winner.
She got her redemption.
Yeah.
But I don't see her as the winner. I could see Bosco
But I could see Bosco winner. I could see Georges, maybe. I wish it could be Mistress, but I think that they would never, after all the drama, I don't know that...
When I think the problem right now is, with Georges and Mistress, I still feel like their storylines are too involved with each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to see them on their own.
That's true, they almost have to separate to...
Right. I don't know if that'll necessarily happen. Also, someone brought up in the Patreon chat this week, what happens with these points when they come together? Are those still going to be in play, or do they matter still?
True. Hopefully they would start at least, like, at kind of a fresh playing field once they get all together. Don't you think? Because it would almost be, like, unfair. I mean, if Ginger wins the next episode, then she could have, I guess, the same as Georges. Or more.
She could have 9.
Yeah.
She could have 9.
That's crazy.
She wins the lip sync. Let's get into the runway, and we'll look at them in teams. And up first is Alyssa Betty, Alyssa Hunter, and Denali.
I loved that they did a Miley runway, first of all. I just have to say that. I think that was so
It's weird
iconic.
they did it and she's not there.
That is kind of weird. I don't know why they didn't have her, because, you know, she probably would have came if they asked her.
Well,
but
and it gives me another last-minute cancellation, because also Jamal being up there was so random, even though he didn't choreograph the stuff anyway. Like, you would think he'd be choreographing.
Maybe she was supposed to be there.
And the whole theme of it fits with her as well.
Yeah.
You know, country.
I absolutely loved Denali's. Iconic.
Denali's was good. It was very, Denali's was very realness.
It was perfect. Like, I mean, besides the hair being, like, a little, I think, longer than what Miley's was, it was, like, almost exactly the look.
Mm-hmm.
But I also loved Alyssa's, because that was, like, perfect, too, I thought.
And that was good, too, although her breasts were too close together. Like, uniboob. For me, with that one, that was Miley doing a Tina Turner-inspired look.
True.
So, you're doing...
But it's so iconic.
Miley as Tina.
It was just so fabulous.
I mean, to me, all I saw was Tina Turner. And I know the Miley
Yeah.
reference, because also she put... Miley said, I think, at the start of doing that song at the Grammys,
Well, yeah.
I just won my first Grammy, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, because
she said it when she sang Flowers, she, like, yelled out, I just
That's
won
what
my
I'm
first...
talking
Yeah,
about.
okay. But I just think, it was cute.
My favorite of the whole group was actually Alyssa Betty. I love that she did a version of the Miley look, but she dragged it up, first of all.
Yeah.
She didn't just do the look. And then she made it her own. I thought it was fierce.
I did think it was fabulous.
Like, that's how... Because I don't want to see Alyssa Betty go, like realness Miley. I want that version of Alyssa.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, if she were to do that, she'd completely lose her brand.
Well, yeah. That's why I'm glad they each do it in their own way. Like, I'm glad that she did it like that, but I love that Denali did it in her way and did, like, a realness Miley. Because if it was all, like, random interpretations, then it would be like, what is the runway? But I loved... for me, out of this group, I think Denali was my top.
Here's our second group. Miss Cuckoo, Daya Betty, and Ginger Minj.
But my top is kind of a tie, because I also love...
You are the only person that comes up in here and does soft tops and doubles. You try to change the rules like you haven't been here. You've been here for 5 years.
I can never pick a favorite of anything.
You have been doing this for 5 years. And it's gotten worse this year.
But Cynthia's is so good.
Cynthia's is... it would be literally perfect if the crotch wasn't so saggy.
Yeah. It's Miley, but it's also a little different than the look, you know?
It's like a more over-the-top version.
Yeah. And I actually really loved Daya's, too. That was really fierce. And Ginger was there. I don't know. For me, we already talked about Ginger. I didn't like how it was just like Elvis, I felt like.
I would say my least favorite was Ginger's.
She said she's like switching it up with the fashion, and then she did basically the same look. So
right. And I mean, it wasn't...
And the hair is not giving the Miley hair Miley did with it.
She just did Elvis.
Yeah.
Like, she just changed it so far that it is not giving Miley at all.
Yeah.
Even though it's actually closer than some of the looks, you know?
Yeah.
I just...
I don't know.
I thought that Daya's dress was pretty, but... And I know that she's trying to do the hair to reference how Miley had her hair, but I hated that hair on her. Hated it.
I thought it was fun. And I liked that she did that era of Miley. For her, like, that was a good era to pick. I was a little upset that nobody did Hannah Montana, so I was like, I have to give some Hannah Montana.
And who's under there? Take the wig off.
Girl, can you imagine?
Now it's time to take a look at our YouTube thanks. Up first, Tex Erin was wishing her fellow Gemini Chastity a happy birthday. It was her birthday last week. Your birthday is next. You're Cancer, so you're coming up next.
Yes, mine's in July.
July what?
The 12th.
That's very soon.
Yes.
It's just a couple weeks away. This month flew by.
It really did. I'm so excited I'm going to see the Kesha concert.
Ooh.
It's like the day after my birthday.
So Kesha's like your ultimate person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would Miley be like the runner-up?
I love like Kesha and Miley and Gaga.
Okay.
I don't know.
I feel like I wouldn't have guessed Gaga aesthetically maybe, but I feel like I haven't.
I like Gaga, like a lot of her. I don't know, like her Mayhem album really.
You just did Paparazzi, like.
Yeah, the new Mayhem album like really slayed for me.
Right before this, we were listening to Marina's new album, and I feel like
so good.
Marina pulled Gaga and like went back to
the roots.
Like, it feels like, oh, you're back with me now.
Yes.
I used to love Marina and the Diamonds. Oh my god.
I know some people have been saying. Like, it doesn't sound like her. But I'm like, this is the original Marina. Like, this is her.
It is full on, oh god, those first two albums, they were my favorite.
That's
my first Mangled tip as the newly crowned Miss Hampton Roads Unity.
Okay.
Come on, pageant winner. Thanks for giving me so much content to watch while I'm preparing.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations. Pageants are a lot of work. Have you ever done any pageants?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Didn't you Comedy Queen?
I did Comedy Queen, and I
go.
did Entertainer of the Year.
Oh, how'd those go?
I did good at both. Entertainer of the Year, I didn't place, I don't think. I did bad. But I did good in my own heart.
You were happy with what you
But Comedy Queen, I won talent, and I won... It's like 60-second spokeswoman, which is basically like on-stage question, but it's a little different for that one. But I'm like, I did good, but I'm going to try it again this October. So.
I've never had a desire to ever try. Like,
really? You've never done a pageant?
I immediately started having to help people with their pageant package. Either dancing
people
with them
always,
or just... I got roped into so many, and I'm not even a dancer, but I was a backup dancer or like a character in a bunch of people's things.
Yeah.
It definitely put a bad taste in my mouth. Like, oh, this is not it for me. There's so many different pageants and systems. Gotta find the right one.
Right.
For you.
You gotta find the right one for you.
Or find the pageant within. Which is what I did. We're gonna head out of here for now. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Bye!